Cakey here.
There's nothing I love more than a sprinkle party.
Hi guys.
Cupcakes,
Happy Wednesday.
couple dozen treats in the making.
This song, man.
Up when the timer stops.
So cute. Hey Rocky.
Hey
Hey Chris, it's good to see you. Thanks for tuning in live. Hey. Welcome to Wonderland, guys. Oh, Walt, it is so good to see you. Jeff. And of course, the one and only Juliet has just joined. I had to play, this is one of my favorite singles, although the whole album is amazing, Sprinkle Party from Gabby's Dollhouse. If you guys haven't heard this song, Juliet is the singer, and it is fantastic. So thanks to everyone that's tuning in live, and happy Wednesday. Today we're going to welcome Juliet Donenfeld to the show, so let's go ahead and do that right now. Congrats on your full vaccination, Juliet. You must be so excited. Thomas, good to see you on. You guys, please give a warm Wonderland welcome to Juliet Donenfeld.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Sideways. Good. Am I sideways for you?
You are sideways. Yeah. I think, you know, unfortunately, Instagram Live only does the portrait. So, hi. Okay, there we go. Perfect.
Perfect.
That is such a pretty flower in your backyard.
Thank you.
I couldn't help myself but play Sprinkle Party because I don't know if you saw my Instagram story, but my son and I absolutely love that song. And I mean, if that isn't enough, we've also done the avocado facials. My husband as well. We have photos of all of us in the Cakey avocado facials. So that was so great. And your character on there is so wonderful. It is so nice to meet you, Juliet.
You too.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. I know you are such a busy girl, so.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny because I was curious, just your range of characters. You do a lot of different characters, from Cakey to Sally the Squirrel. And I was curious to hear what your real voice is. So it's so cool to hear it for the first time.
Thank you.
Yeah. How's your day going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah. It's Wednesday, so it's the middle of the week, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so you are only 11 years old. Is that right? Did I do my math right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. And you are actually the youngest person to ever be nominated for an Annie Award.
Yes.
What was that like? Was that an exciting time for you?
Well, yeah, that was pretty fun. It felt really cool to like be there and like be making history. And I was just super happy to be there.
Yeah. Did you get to run into any voice actors you admire, or
Well, I am on I don't well, I kind of know Tara Strong. We saw each other and we kind of like hung out at the Bugs Ball, which was the night before.
Hey girl.
Like a pre-Annie Award. And then, so yeah, I saw Tara Strong and Debbie Derryberry, which were kind of like the people I know.
That's so great. You know, both Tara and Debbie live in my hood, so Toluca Lake represent.
That's
Although
so
I think
cool.
Tara's in Canada now. Yeah. And so you grew up in Los Angeles as well, right?
Yes.
And you've been acting since a very young age. When was your first acting gig?
Well, my first acting gig was a commercial for Jamboree, and I was like 5 or 6.
Wow.
5, yeah.
5 years old. Wow. Do you remember that day?
Oh yeah, I do. So we were at the shoot, and like all the like little setup was like on the wall, and then it was like a big commercial for Jamboree, so there was like different rooms for like different scenes of it, because it's like the commercial is like about different rooms, and like the camera just goes across for all the different settings and all the different people in rooms.
Wow.
Stand thingy. Yeah, it was on like a running board, and I was so confused, and I did not like know what it was. And yeah.
Yeah, everybody's got to start somewhere and start learning. But you've already had so many excellent roles under your belt.
Yeah.
When did you know at 5 that you wanted to get into acting, or was it something you just fell into?
Well, kind of both. Because I've been a competition dancer. All my friends are on the live right now. But I've been dancing since I was 2, and I've been a competition dancer since I was 4. And that's when I was on stage. I always like loved competing, and it was just always so much fun for me. And then I was just always so outgoing, and then I just got my first audition, and my first audition I booked it, which was a Gymboree commercial. And then I got an agent, and then it just all fell in from there.
That's amazing. Because you do both on-camera acting and you do voiceover acting. So you started with the on-camera and commercials and stuff. And were you ever nervous when you were just getting started?
Well, yeah, I was pretty nervous, and I was like, it was just so much going on for like the first time I was doing it, but it was all really fun, and it was like a new territory, and it was pretty exciting.
Yeah, I can understand that. Is there something that you love particularly about voice acting that you don't get to experience when you're doing on-camera acting?
Well, I love I think I just like bringing the characters to life, and like I don't know why, it might be just me, but I always like have to picture things like whenever I'm like in a story or something, whenever I'm reading or something, I just always like have to picture it. So whenever I'm like doing voiceover acting, I always just imagine the character, and that's just pretty cool to imagine it and then see what it's really like in the end. It's just pretty cool.
Yeah. And what about on camera? Is there something that you find is more something that you like most about that?
Well, I just think also bringing a character to life, but also making different choices, and like having a different set bedroom and a different set house, and just getting to work with the casting crew, and like having a different family in the dressing room and the schoolroom. It's just all pretty fun.
And how do you juggle kind of your schoolwork with your career?
Well, so basically I was in regular school. I went to Warner since from kindergarten until the middle of 3rd grade. So I've been homeschooled for about 2.5 years now. But that was pretty hard. Like I was having to be taken out of school a lot and stuff like that. But then ever since I was homeschooled, it's been much easier, because if, say I could only do 2 hours one day because I have a voiceover job and a job to go to, then, and I have nothing to do the next day, then I could do 4 hours the next day. Because you have to get 3 hours of school in all. And that's what I also like about homeschool. You don't have to do 6 hours. You only have to do 3 hours. But
dude, that's amazing.
Even though you're doing a lot less hours, I think you still get just as much or more work done, because first of all, if you got something down already, you could just move on. And if you need more time, you can like work on that. And it's not much busy work. Like it's not a whole 30-minute lunch, a 20-minute recess and stuff like that. You just have to do 3 hours of work, and then you can be done, and then you can take all the break you want. And I feel like just being homeschooled is really flexible. So with your schedule, you could just, like, it's pretty easy.
That's amazing. I think I want to go to homeschool. Sign me up. That sounds amazing. Yeah, my son is just getting ready to enter kinder too. So it's going to be a whole new world coming out of preschool, you know? It's going to get real schooly over here.
Yeah.
Do you find it challenging to be both a voice actor and an on-camera actor?
It is a little challenging, but it also is really fun, because you get to experience both worlds, and they're both just so different, and they're both just so amazing. And yeah, I just feel like it's pretty fun. And yes, it is hard. It's very busy, but it's really fun.
With when you go into a studio, like the first time you went into studio, what did you think of the microphone and the glass, everybody kind of sitting behind the glass? What was that experience like for you?
What was my first job?
Pete the Can.
That was my very first voice?
Yes.
Okay, so basically, yeah, that's what I thought. I went and I was like, I think I was about 6. I was so young. There were so many people like watching me, and I was like, oh, hi. I was just, and then there was a big double door, like 2 doors. You walk into there. I was like, whoa.
So heavy.
Uh-huh. And then I walked in, and I saw this big glass window, and I was like, oh, hi from the other side. And then there's this chair and a big stand with my script on it and a big microphone. It was all pretty cool.
Wow.
And the first job I ever did was Pete the Cat, and Swampy, if you're watching, it was super fun. And my director, Swampy, he's really amazing. The first time I ever went in, he knew I was really young, and he knew it was like all new to me. And they like hesitated on booking me in the first place because they're like, oh, she's so new, she probably doesn't know how to do it. And then basically when I went in, when he was starting, he asked me if he wanted me to sit. He asked me if I wanted him to sit in the room or just go out, and I said sit in the room. So the first like few sessions of recording, he sat in the room with me and did everything with me, and I think that helps a lot to just transition to the next
Swampy
one.
Marsh?
Yeah.
That's so great. So would he act with you as well?
What?
Would he read the lines with you too, or just hang out?
No, you
know how
to read them. You would read.
No, but like the other part.
Oh.
Yeah, so yeah, he was doing like the other part, and like he directed me through, and he was like, okay, one more time. And then whenever I did like a funny line, he like tried to hold his laugh in because he was in the room. Like he couldn't laugh on the other side because
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And
normally they're like laughing extra loud to make you know that like they're on the same page. They're like
yeah. Yeah, and then in the room you like couldn't laugh, and it was pretty funny, and I just thought that was like a good way to transition into acting.
Yeah. Well, how did you come up with the character for Sally? She was kind of very similar to your voice. Did you make
I didn't really put on a voice because I didn't really like, well, I knew how to put on a voice, but I just didn't think I needed to do anything different. So I just like read the lines, and then I read what it was, and like I just put some like excitement and fast talking on it.
Uh-huh. That's amazing. When were you surprised when you got the nomination for the Annie Award for best voice acting?
Was I 7 or 8 or 9?
Probably. It was 9 because it takes 2 years.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I was 9. So I was like all confused. I didn't really know what an Annie Award was. I didn't like know how like special it was. I was pretty excited that I was the youngest ever nominated. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I liked doing the interview, and I liked I went to go in for like this fitting, and I got to like have a customized dress, and
oh wow.
Like we got to customize the dress, and like they fitted on me, and then like we picked out the shoes, and we got like a special stylist for the dress, like to make it like handmade and one of a kind. And then like I got this really fancy hair done. You've probably seen the pictures, but yeah, it was pretty cool. And I didn't have my ears pierced at the time, so we went on Amazon and ordered these like really cute big like diamond earrings, clip-ons, and I still have them over there, I think.
Oh, what a great memory.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Yeah, there's something really fun about getting dressed up. And so you were doing a lot of commercials. What was your first, I know you worked on the Big Show Show. What was that like being on set for the Big Show Show?
That might have been the most fun job I've ever done. Yeah. I just feel like the whole cast and crew were like so sweet, and They were so fun to work with. I mean, I loved my character and I loved the family. And then, well, a story about my studio teacher. So I was on Singing to the Max and I was a guest star. So I was only like there for a week.
Yeah.
And in the schoolroom, I loved the teacher and we did school together. She helped me. And then at the end of the week, I was leaving and it was so sad because I loved the teacher and she was so sweet. And she was like, I was too sad to leave. And she was like, you know what, kiddo, you're going to book a series regular and I'm going to be your teacher on it. And then about a year later, I booked the Big Show. And then I was like so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, I could request Miss Lauren, that's her name, to be my studio teacher. And then, so we were going to do that like later though, because it was much later on in the year. But then like during those few months while I was waiting, I did a few jobs. I did Better Call Saul. When we were flying out, I think my studio teacher was either Laura Gallinson or Bettina Russo. It was one of those two. And we told her that I booked it. And she was like, oh my gosh, I think the studio teacher was like named Lauren or something. We were like, wait a minute. So then we held off on requesting the teacher. And then we went. And then we found out it was Miss Lauren because we texted her. And then we were like, oh my gosh, yay. We were so excited to see her there. And yeah, that just was funny because it was such a coincidence. And then what's actually really funny is they booked Lauren before they booked me. So they booked her to be the teacher before they booked me as JJ. But yeah, and then I loved the schoolroom being with Lily. And yeah, it was pretty fun.
It's like fate.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was meant to be, I'm sure.
And then the dad on the show, this is thank you. This is how tall he is compared to me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. And is that down at Warner Brothers?
Paramount.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Do you remember the audition for that?
Yes, I do. And actually for the callback, I was on my way to Las Vegas for nationals with my dance team. And right after we performed, like, Mom was like, okay, good job. And then she rushed me out. We had to go get all my hair and makeup off, my costume off, put up, like, the thing in, because I got a callback. So then we filmed the callback and a self-tape, sent it in. And then on the way back from Las Vegas, we realized I was on a veil for it. And that was actually the 4th of July. So we're like, okay, happy 4th of July. It's a big celebration, but we're not just celebrating the 4th of July. We're celebrating that you're on a veil for the Big Show. Oh
my gosh.
Yeah.
You've seen the fireworks. You're just like, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And so you also worked on what is a very adult show, Better Call Saul. What was it like being on set for that show? I mean, yeah, scary show.
Yeah, I loved working with Jonathan Banks, Pop Pops. He was always, he's such like a funny, nice guy, and he taught me how to play poker.
What? Really?
Yeah, and then also whenever
Are you and Jonathan Banks just like playing cards on the weekends?
Yeah, when we were waiting, like it was a real house that we were filming in, so we were waiting for our scene. We were like in the garage playing poker. And then also whenever he cursed, he had to give me $1.
Oh my
God.
God.
Then I got like so rich. And yeah, it was just super fun working with him.
What about the callback that he actually picked you?
Oh, and also during the callback, he was there, so he was reading his lines with me. And then he was the one who actually got to pick who he wanted to be his granddaughter, and he picked me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Did he tell you that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That must have made you feel really good, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. Now I'm curious, since COVID has hit, I know for a while, everything has been shut down production-wise. How did that affect both your on-camera and VO stuff?
It didn't really affect my voiceover.
Mm-hmm. Were you doing stuff at home before, or just mostly going into a studio?
Mostly going into the studio, but then everything just switched to home. But then for live action, it kind of affected me. Not really. We were getting a lot of self-tapes, but also it came, my show came out during COVID. It helped the show because everybody was at home trying to find a show to watch, and I was actually #2 in the whole world for about 2 weeks. And there's like a huge billboard in New York.
Wow.
For the beach. It's so sad though because nobody got to see it because that's when everything was in huge lockdown. But it was super big.
Oh, nobody got to see the billboard. Did you get a picture at least?
It was in Times Square.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but it was still top 2 in the U.S. I mean, in the world for 2 weeks. But that affected it because we did not get a second season because of COVID. Because the price would have gone up like more, half as much. Because of everything. But yeah, so
because
we
of
didn't get a second.
You mean the cost of production would have shot way up because of testing and COVID protocol?
Testing and then all of that, and then they would have to test the Guardian, and then it would just be like a lot more, and then so that's why that affected it. But then I shot a pilot during COVID called Wild Things. Well, it used to be called The Big Bad Wolves, but now it's called Wild Things, and
Wild with an E, WILD, Wild Things.
Yes. And that we're not sure if that's getting picked up, but the writers were the writers on Will and Grace, and that thing, the old time show, Will and Grace, and no, there's one more.
Friends?
No, you're talking about the director.
Oh yeah.
James Burrows.
Yeah, and then the director, James Burrows, he was the director of...
I think Friends, I don't know.
No, it was not Friends. It was that big old-time movie. No.
I don't know.
Okay, anyways.
Guys, type it in if you know what the big old-time movie was.
For James Burrows.
See if anyone knows. Will and Grace. So is that one of the writers on Will and Grace?
Yeah, both of the writers were the writers of Will and Grace. And yeah, so, but then, what is his name? He's taking over all of the shows on
Chuck Lorre.
Oh yeah, Chuck Lorre. So he's like taking up all the shows on CBS right now. So we don't know if that's gonna get picked up for a season, but we're still on hold. But if one of his shows does bad and doesn't get picked up, then we'll take its spot. But so far that hasn't happened. So, yeah. But then voiceovers.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the show is about?
Yeah, it's about. Well, I was the foster child, and I was like going from home to home, like not really like I wasn't like really hopeful anymore because I knew that nobody was gonna adopt me. And then, what was her name on the show?
Julie Bowen?
No.
Stephanie Cohen?
Yeah, what was her name on the show?
Oh, I don't know.
I forgot her name on the show. So anyways, Stephanie Cohen, which was the main one, well, the Julie Bowen's sister on the show, she adopted me, and like she's like kind of a mess, like doesn't really like know how to do anything. She lives like in like a tiny little apartment, and she just adopted me, and like she doesn't know how to do this anymore. So she came knocking on Julie Bowen's door, which they're sisters, and Julie Bowen is like this very put together lawyer.
Crisis manager. Yeah.
Crisis manager. She like charges like a lot of money, and she's like a huge fancy apartment. And she's very well put together, short hair, business suit, and all that stuff. And Stephanie comes running to her like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. Help me!" And then, so she and like I like go in the kitchen and like just start seeing things because I've never seen such a fancy house. And Stephanie starts freaking out to Julie like, "I don't know what to do. Like, okay, it's okay. I could do this. I could do this." And then Julie was like, "Are you sure you can do this?" She was like, "I could do this. I'm pretty sure I could do this. I don't know if I could do this. I can't do this." So then Julie had to take me on, and then they were like both handling me, I guess.
Aww. Like my two moms.
Yeah. And then at the end, Julie just ended up adopting me full time. But yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, good luck with that. Someone was just asking what this show is. We should let you guys know. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's called
It's called Wild Things.
Wild Things. Yeah.
But it was a pilot, and we don't know if it's going to get picked up yet. But if it does, it's going to be on CBS. But yeah.
So let's all cross our fingers for Juliet and everybody else that's on the show. So Gabby's Dollhouse, what has it been like working on that production?
That was really fun. I loved my director, and well, first I was working for 2 of the characters in the show, Baby Box and Cakey.
Oh, yeah.
Then I booked the Big Show.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had to just switch to Cakey fully. But I'm really glad I got Cakey because she's such a cute little cupcake. And she's just so, like, outgoing and energetic. And she's so, like, rainbow and upbeat. Yeah. And it's a Pringle party. And I just, like, love her attitude.
Did you record the song from home, too? Or was that done in the studio?
I think so. I'm pretty sure I did.
Oh, we don't remember, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we don't remember, but I think I did.
That whole album is so good. We just put it on and dance around the house. Yeah. Do you feel like doing the voice for us?
Of the song, or just Cakey?
Or maybe just sing a line of the song, that way, if you feel up to it.
Okay. Hi, Cakey here. There's nothing I love more than a sprinkle party. That's Cupcakes, baking, couple dozen treats in the making. Gonna gobble them up when the timer sounds. Yes! Yeah! This is that sweet life, milk and honey.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that was so fun.
Thank you.
Did you really did you get the chance to work with the other voice actors on Zoom or something, or did they bring everybody in one at a time?
We did, like, in the very beginning of COVID, and like when the lockdown was like, we didn't really know what was happening. Yeah. Then I recorded a few episodes from home, and then we just started like going into the studio like one at a time. Yeah. And the directors were all on Zoom in the TV, and only the engineer was behind the glass. And then we started doing it like that. Do you sing in your regular life too? Yeah. I've been taking some singing lessons. And I've sang for some auditions and jobs before. And yeah. Yeah. And then I sing a lot in Pete the Cat and Gabby's Dollhouse.
And have you ever written any music or written any songs?
Well, I've written a few small songs. Like, I've never really released it to anything. Yeah. I just kind of sing just it. For you. Yeah.
Do you have any other forms of art that you like to engage in? You said you dance.
Yes, I dance a lot. I sing, I act. I play the piano, I do the drums, and then...
Oh, you play the drums too?
Yeah.
Wow.
I do the silks, like the aerial
silks? Yeah. Oh, that's so fun.
Thank you. And we actually got some for my house because my sister was really into it. And we have this archway, that goes really high. So we hung the silks from there in my backyard, and it was perfect because it was this plant area. But then we just cut the plants down to the area, and then it was just a nice box of silks.
Wow. That sounds so fun.
Thank
you. You have just one sister, is that right? I thought it was her birthday.
Sister, and she turned 21. Monday. Wow. And then I have a brother, and he's 22.
Oh, okay. Cool. Do you get to see them a lot?
My brother lives in Utah with his girlfriend, but he goes to Harvey Mudd, which is an hour away from my house. And then my sister, yes, I see her a lot because she goes to USC.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So it seems like you are very busy. I mean, you have dance, you have aerial silks, and a lot of hobbies. How do you find the time to juggle everything?
Well, when I booked the Big Show, I had to stop. I had to not really quit my dance studio, but we just told them okay, we just booked a series regular. We're gonna take a break for 3 months because that's how long it was filming. They're like, okay, good luck, have fun. And so my friends came to my live taping. And actually. And then after that, COVID hit, and the studio wasn't like really safe, and they weren't wearing masks or stuff. But then in like September, when COVID started getting really bad, they started wearing masks, and I still didn't go back because COVID was getting really bad. But then in like February, it started to get better, and we asked if we could go back, and I've been going back every day since then.
Every single day?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been missing the days that I've had to go record my voiceover jobs, and then sometimes like sometimes if I had a self-tape due that day with like a lot of lines, I would have to miss dance, but only if I didn't get it done in the day, because some of the self-tapes could count as school a little bit for like reading or language arts. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I want to study language arts too.
Yeah.
Hi, Stephanie. So, wow, that's amazing. So, and I guess if you can condense school into 3 hours, then you have more time for these, hobbies and creative development.
Yeah. Because I don't get up that early. I get up at like 9 or 9:30, depending how late I go to bed. But
hey, you're kind of living my childhood dream right now.
And every 2 weeks I record 4 hours for one of my voiceover jobs that I'm not allowed to say yet. But yeah, I feel like we've been able to juggle the time into it, because we've been creative, and we've been able to like fit the stuff into it, because we found ways to, because every 2 weeks I record 4 hours, so we like just do like 30 minutes or an hour more school, and then we count the rest as a lot of school, because that's really hard. I do 4 hours and I only get like 2 5-minute breaks.
Yeah.
But yeah, we found ways to make it work.
Yeah. Do you ever get tired and worn down with all that work, or does it energize you?
Both. I feel like sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes it's tiring.
Sometimes it's a little tiring, and then sometimes it's like a little bit easier, depending on how many lines I have in my script, which is normally like 60 to 70 an episode, and I do like 2 episodes. Yeah.
Oh, voiceover. I thought you meant off book for a second.
Oh.
I was like, oh my God.
But yeah, it's pretty fun. It is tiring though.
I can imagine. Now, do you have a favorite musical artist or a favorite visual artist? Anybody that you really love?
For singing or acting?
Both.
Okay, well, I like Olivia Rodrigo for singing, and a little bit for acting, because she was in High School Musical, the musical, the series. And yeah, I love her 2 new songs, Deja Vu and Driver's License. And for acting, for singing, also Ariana Grande and Taylor Swift. And Bake Show, the dad on the Bake Show, he actually got us VIP tickets to the Ariana Grande concert, which is pretty cool. We had like our own room backstage and stuff like that. It was pretty fun.
You already went? Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that must have been amazing.
Yeah.
And now you have your own single out. So who knows? Maybe Ariana Grande is listening to Sprinkle Party. Maybe you can get her to do a cover. Cats! It was like the worst Ariana Grande impression I've ever done. So if there was like another kid that wanted to get into acting, would you have any advice for them?
Well, keep in mind it is a lot of work. You'll have to like give up a lot of things you're doing. Like sometimes I've had 6 auditions on a weekend, and that like was my whole weekend. But it is pretty fun. I feel like it's worth it. But I feel like if you want to get started, maybe take some acting classes, go to camp. I went to French Woods in New York, since I was little because my dad was a doctor at camp because my dad's a doctor and my mom's a nurse practitioner. But yeah, so he worked there, so I got to go to camp for free. And that was like, it's like a build your own schedule thing. So I did musical theater, dancing and acting mostly, and singing. And I did some like minors, like making bracelets and stuff like that. And I feel like that was really fun. I never really got the full experience because I stayed in the fancy nurses lounge, not really the
Cabins, bunks.
Yeah, cabins with like a bunch of like bunk beds and bunk mates. But yeah, I was gonna go this summer, but depending on if it gets better, then probably not. But then probably next year.
Yeah, that sounds really fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Do you have to be a kid to go?
I think it's from like ages 8. I thought it was 5.
I mean, I can play 8.
It's 8. It starts at 8. You were the youngest because you were the.
Oh, 8 to like 15. 8 to anywhere until you can be a counselor.
Sign me up. Counselor Ellie. So I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you've had a very long day. Did you get a chance to have dinner? I know you had dance.
Yes, I had dinner. Okay,
good. But I was wondering if you would mind taking a question or two from the audience.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Adam Oakley is asking, who's your favorite Disney princess? You have one?
Ooh. Well, I actually was. Oh my gosh, those are my 2 favorites. I was literally about to say. I modeled for Disney, and I was Cinderella and Ariel, and those are actually my 2 favorite Disney characters.
For like a magazine or something? For one of their magazines?
For their catalog, for like, because I modeled in the dress, like for their dress up area. But yeah, let me scroll up and see if there's.
Yeah, those 2 are awesome. Let's see. Oh, there's. How old are you? We already talked about that.
Yeah. Is there any more Big Show episodes filming? No, we are not filming at the moment, and we are not. We're unfortunately not getting another season, sadly. But yeah, I'm crossing my fingers for the pilot I'm working on, and I'm on hold for a few other shows right now.
Crossing fingers.
Thank you.
What's your favorite style of dance? And also, I guess maybe you could let us know what types of dance you do. You say competitive dance. Is that modern or particular style?
Well, that's a pretty good question. I do contemporary, jazz, lyrical, tap, ballroom, hip-hop. I kind of do it all. Today I did technique, contemporary, acro, and
acro, like acro yoga?
Like acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Like gymnastics.
Fun.
And then we did choreography and we did contemporary.
That's amazing. So they kind of like them all?
Yeah, I like them all. Oh, and we also do ballet. I forgot about that. We haven't been doing ballet for a while, though. But yeah.
Gosh, there's so many questions coming in. I'm just trying to keep up. If you had to choose pineapple pizza, spaghetti, or mac and cheese, what would it be?
Pineapple pizza, spaghetti, or mac and cheese? Probably butter spaghetti.
Butter spaghetti, keeping it simple. Kaylin wants to know how you find auditions for your roles.
Well, I have an agent, and like they get to know me and see what jobs are like best for me, and then they send me out. And I also recently got a manager, and they've been really good, and they've been getting me a lot of roles that I've asked for. I've always wanted to be in like a musical with like singing and dancing.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. So yeah, I just recommend like if you're trying to get into acting, meeting with an agent and like trying to sign up.
Cool. Girl, how long you long for a little? Daphne, I'll answer that question later. What's your favorite show that you've done? Would that be The Big Show Show?
Yeah, probably The Big Show Show.
Now, I know you don't have a lot of time to watch cartoons, but do you watch any cartoons? And if so, which ones are your favorite?
Yes. I actually like Phineas and Ferb, the one
Little
that
Swampy
directed. And I also like The Loud House.
The Loud House, yes, and you had a role in that as well.
Yeah, I had a guest star role, and her name was Claire.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, I know it's been, I know it's getting pretty late for you, so I don't want to keep you too long. What do you hope that your followers gain from being part of your content? And what do you hope they get out of it?
I try to like not just post pictures of me. I try to post things like that I'm doing and things that I think fun things that I've been doing. And I'm also just a normal girl. Even with all the things I'm doing, I also do fun things. Yeah, I post sometimes of my acting and dancing and sometimes fun places that I go. And yeah, I hope my followers enjoy that.
Yeah. You're giving people a lot of joy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I want to say thank you so much, Juliet. For anybody that just is tuning in for the first time, this is Alicyn's Wonderland. It's a weekly show where we interview people that work in animation and video games. And we're so happy to have Juliet as our guest tonight.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. Do you mind, before you go, just saying, this is Juliet Donenfeld, Cakey from Gabby's Dollhouse, and you should watch Alicyn's Wonderland?
Okay, sure. Hi, this is Juliet Donenfeld, Cakey from Gabby's Dollhouse, and Sally the Squirrel from Pete the Cat. Go watch Alicyn's Wonderland. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Of course.
Well, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a blast.
Thank you,
Have a good
Juliet.
night.
Bye.
Bye.